up guys, it's your boy HA back here with another video. This would have to be one of my most exciting videos to make. If you know me personally, you know I'm a huge fan of Cyberpunk. Not just the game, but the theme, the genre, the futuristic cities, the clothes with LEDs, you name it. And what's crazy is, when I went down a rabbit hole on the internet trying to figure out what was this genre that I like, it turned out it was around the announcement time of the game Cyberpunk 2077. And when I found this out, this was like early 2019. I was at work at the time, bored. It was a slow day, so I was in my car on my computer, and I was just going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out what this genre was. And I then find out that there is also a game coming out called Cyberpunk 2077, and that same day I found out that I'm a fan of Cyberpunk. So that's actually what made this game really special for me and super exciting, because it's a game that I could finally start with. Like, as you guys have seen on my latest videos, I'm pretty backed up on a lot of games. So this is gonna be awesome because one, it's something I really love, and two, I'll be hopping on the game right on the same time that it goes out. So I feel like I'm finally up to date on something that I really like. So today we're gonna react to a video basically talking and explaining Cyberpunk a little bit more. I mean, I've only seen a bunch of trailers and gameplay footage here and there, but now it's time to watch it here with you guys with a lot of new details in this specific video. So kick back, enjoy, grab your beverage, and let's enjoy this video.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
Oh my gosh. Like, I'm loving everything about this game so far.
Hello and welcome to this, the very first episode of Night City Wire, a brand new series from us at CD Projekt Red, where we'll be talking about all things Cyberpunk 2077.
Good. For
today's episode, we'll be starting with a brand new trailer. One of our developers will be joining us to help unpack everything you're going to see. We'll have some news, an announcement about a secret collaboration. We'll be taking a look at some Braindance gameplay and welcoming back our developers just to have a chat about everything you're going to see. But there is one more thing. Media all over the world have been getting hands-on with Cyberpunk 2077, and when this episode finishes, you'll be able to go and check out exactly what they thought. So,
I actually want to buy a project car.
It is time to take a look at our brand new trailer, and after that, our lead quest designer Pavel Sasko will be joining us, because I've got a feeling you're going to have a few questions after watching this. So, let's take a look.
Love this town, the city of endless opportunity. Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on!
City like any other, just bigger.
No, mano, not just any other city. Legends are born here.
The free roam is gonna be insane.
We're only here because Dex is pulling the strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them.
But we are. They just don't know it yet. But if you got the cojones and you know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
Unless you catch a bull.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
You know, you can make heaps more eddies as a motivational speaker.
Yo, Mr. V, a pleasure.
So what's the gig, Dex? You meant to come out in one piece? How about we go over the plan?
There's this prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Jobs to grab it.
Guessing it belongs to a corp.
Arasaka.
We're robbing some heavy hitters.
Thought you could blackmail me?
High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
He's lit, assholes!
Right.
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof. Get your ass moving now!
What the just happened in there?
Can't stop digging Night City.
Good meet you.
Can't stop
Happy now, Jackie?
Yep, that's fucking high! And the bail!
Oh my god, we're so
Cyberpunk 2077.
Dex, what the f?
Can't risk it, V.
And you, who are you?
Oh snap. Keanu.
So the trailer contains footage from the game's prologue only, but there was an awful lot in it. So, Pavel, why don't you try and help us unpack everything that we just saw?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, I can try. So, what you have just seen is only the prologue of the game. So, that awesome stuff is only happening in the first few quests. What the trailer shows you is really our stage, the Night City. You know, this gigantic city built of 6 completely unique districts, surrounded by the 7th one that we call the Badlands. As a player, you are meeting Jackie. Jackie's your friend. Now, they together are trying to reach out for something that is very precious. They are trying to reach out for this chip of immortality, this gateway to eternal life. Jackie introduces you to Fixer Dexter Deshawn. He's a very important person in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. He is able to provide the player with various jobs and contracts to be able to gather money, to be able to modify their bodies, push themselves to the limits, to put their hands on the chip. But as you can expect, not everything goes as planned, and but to see it, you will have to play the game.
For sure.
There are an awful lot of really cool things in this trailer, and there's a few that I would just love to talk about a little bit more for the people at home. So let's start with talking about a gang called the Mox. Now, we see a few flashes of them in this trailer. I personally think they're really cool and one of my favorites, but can you give us a little bit more information about them?
Oh yes, so the Mox is one of the gangs that player is going to interact with throughout the game. The Mox is the gang that has been formed in 2076 after death of Elizabeth Borden. She was called Lizzie. Now, she was an owner of a brothel and former sex worker, and she was protecting working guys and girls from harassment, from abuse.
We all know that guy.
And the gang is really continuing her mission. And as a player, you are going to interact with that gang, meet multiple different NPCs, and craft your own relationship with them and understand what they are all about.
Sick.
So earlier on, you did mention a 7th district, a place called the Badlands. Now, we saw a few shots of this in the trailer, but I'd love for you to give us a bit more detail about the district outside of the city walls.
Okay, so the Badlands is this like dead, dried out space going
Vegas.
around the whole Night
I'm just
City.
kidding.
And as a player, you'll be able to traverse that space in your
The
car
free
or
roam in this
motorcycle.
will be
This is a space that's
insane.
inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are living in the different families, and they are traveling across that space in convoys made out of the cars and motorcycles. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse and access different type of open world content that has been prepared specifically for you to get that awesome feel of the Badlands as an area.
In the trailer, we also saw like a completely metal creature. Now, he didn't look like he was from the Maelstrom gang. This looked like something else. So please tell the people at home, who is this giant metal monster?
Okay, so that big dude, that was Adam Smasher. He has been introduced in Pen and Paper in Cyberpunk 2020 by our senpai Mike Pondsmith. Adam Smasher is a fully converted cyborg. He was always a loyalist of Arasaka. And time has changed, and in 2077 he had to find his own space in Night City. But to find out, you'll have to play the game.
In this trailer, we do see some flashes of a Ripper Doc called Victor Vector. I think if people have watched our previous gameplays, they might remember him. But I'd really like for you to give the people at home some more information about what Ripper Docs are and how they'll be interacting with them when they play Cyberpunk.
So Ripper Docs in our game, they are surgeons. They are like a specific type of a job in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. They are accustomed and specialized in replacing limbs to the metal ones. They can basically update your body, enhance your body, change you into this walking war machine. As a player, you are going to meet different kind of Reaper Dogs in the game, craft your own relationship with them. Some of them are like important characters for a story.
So cool.
Through that, you will invest eddies that you're gathering to turn your body into this tool that allows you to survive on the streets of Night City.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining us.
cool.
I know you'll be back later in the episode because you're going to be helping us to analyze the Braindance gameplay. But before that, we do have some news to share. Earlier in the year, we announced that if you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on Xbox Series X when the console launches.
That's
and
good.
just in case you missed it, it will be the same for PlayStation players as well. If you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4, you'll also be able to play it on PlayStation 5 when the console launches. And that's not all. There will be a free upgrade for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but we'll have more details on that soon.
Tonight City.
Before we reveal our first look at the Braindance gameplay and welcome back our developers for a chat, there is just one more thing we want to announce, something that we've been working on in secret for a while. We are very excited to announce our partnership with Studio Trigger and Netflix to bring you Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a standalone anime set in the Cyberpunk universe, which we've been working on for some time now. Edgerunners is due to launch in 2022, but for some more information, let's go to Team in Tokyo.
Hi, my name is Saya Elder. I am the Japan-based producer for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. What I do basically on this project is that I am a fixer, to put it in the words of the Cyberpunk universe. We are a game company. We are a bunch of nerds, and wherever there are nerds, there's going to be anime fans. So it was always a dream for us to make anime. When we began this project, we were certain that we didn't want to make a recreation of the game. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a standalone story set in the same universe. The stage is still Night City, but everything else is totally new. New characters, new story. I do like to think that it's going to be a great gateway for newcomers to come and check Cyberpunk game and also the Cyberpunk genre as a whole.
So is it going to be like anime graphics?
Right now we're in Nakano, which is one of the biggest anime meccas of the world. I'm going to take you to Studio Trigger right now because we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to the dream team that will be bringing you this anime.
Is
こんにちは。
Cyberpunk.
トリガーの代表取締役の大塚です。
監督の今石です。
キャラクターデザインを担当する吉成です。
ゲームのサイバーパンクのファンの方、今回初めて触れる方両方に満足していただけるようにアニメを作るつもりです。よろしくお願いします。
今回はそのサイバーパンクという僕らが10代の、一ファンにしか過ぎなかった頃に生まれたジャンル、そういうジャンルのものをまた、時代が南進をして作れるというのが非常に楽しみです。
トリガーも10年ということで、監督に今石、キャラクターデザインに吉成というトリガーの最強の布陣で、トリガー10周年にふさわしい作品にしていきたいと思います。お楽しみに。
Looks dope, but it looks like it's going to be like a cartoon style game. Anime, pretty much.
Now it is time to show you some gameplay of Braindance. This is a feature that you'll experience when you play Cyberpunk 2077. Braindance is essentially a recording of somebody else's experience. It allows you to relive their sense of sight, smell, touch, and even hearing, all thanks to a special device. After the gameplay, I will be welcoming back Pavel Sasko. I will also be joined by Patrick Mills, our senior quest designer and all-round lore master, who will be helping to answer your questions and give you some explanation on how you'll be interacting with Braindance when you play Cyberpunk 2077.
Interesting.
So, let's take a look.
Plan's simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out. And we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
And remember,
they got the COVID masks
on full blast. They'll spot us extra for a wicked adrenaline high. Okay, on you go.
Yeah, rob 7-Eleven.
Down, everybody, on the ground. I want to see you kissing the flooring. Money, now, or I will fucking drop you. I swear to God. Well, yeah, hey, now, before I blow your fucking head off!
That was quick. You got the money stacked up. Oh!
Ah!
Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
That was too much.
It's so cool that you can choose what you want to say. I feel like I might play the game multiple times just to select each one each time and see how different it changes.
Hope wrapped up in something else.
Mm-hmm. Probably took a booster just before. You'll be fine. Got everything set up? Let's switch over to editing mode.
Editing mode. Wait, is this where you customize your character? No.
I'll sever the link to the BD Roller's sensory array. You'll be able to look around freely.
Oh, wow.
Whole scene's yours. Full cam control in analysis mode, so move around, zoom in and out, whatever else you come up with. Think of it as your own little sandbox. So, analysis mode, you control playback. Can even pause when you feel the need. Then you use the editor console to unpause. Try it.
It's like there's always something watching you.
Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
Dream as hell, right? Well, that's not all. You can speed things up or rewind, whatever you like.
Wow.
Give it a try. Rewind. Roll it back to the top.
Get I?
All good. Neat. Now try fast forwarding a bit.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't be creative. You go in, snatch the cash.
Wow.
Okay.
So now we get to see who shot him.
Reset the recording.
It's crazy because he didn't even look when he ran in. He didn't even look to the right side. He went straight to the cashier.
Now for some fun. This here's why you came in the first place. In analysis mode, you get to view and even scan details of the enviro recorded by the BD Roller. Focus on the heat, the gun this gonk gets from his buddy at the beginning. Now scan it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio. And remember, keep a full list. That's all you have to do.
Okay, right here.
Scanning the gun.
Let's move on. Now heads up. In analysis mode, you can ferret out background noise and conversations if the roller got close enough. This tech records everything, every little detail, even the sights and sounds the roller was never aware of.
Wow.
To see the sources of the recorded sensory signals, switch to the audio layer in the editor. Go ahead and try that now. Okay, good. Now you should see several sound signatures in the store. Choose one and hone in on it.
Pack of 6, case of Brosif, and a couple of zappers.
Wow, you get to hear, see everything that you didn't see.
Cuddy and surfing. Everybody!
So, any thoughts?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
So cool.
Seriously, like what's happening right next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how BD recording implants work. They pick up everything, all the elements in the background. Then an editor tweaks them, makes them pop. Keep playing with the sound, explore it a bit. We'll move on when you get bored.
Wow.
I want to see you kissing the flooring! Money! Net!
Sometimes you can analyze extra layers in the raw. Stuff the roller's cyberware picked up.
Like what?
Ev's got Kuroshi optics that grab infrared, meaning you should be able to grab heat signatures from her recording.
Huh. Hella nice.
Scanning works on peeps, too. Walk up to the wounded chick. Try scanning her. Alright, next thing. Scroll forward to the part where our artist gets a lead injection.
Or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God! Well, now, fucking head off!
Got the cash. I wonder who shot him. Boom.
See that? They shot him and he never saw it coming.
Yeah, I know.
But you will. Here it comes. My favorite part of the game.
It's too dark.
See the blinking thing over the entrance? Surveillance cam.
Oh, snap.
Must have caught our shooter. You'll see in a sec. Cam feeds to the screen behind the clerk.
This is
Roll back to where the screen's in the kid's field of vision. Then scan it.
Okay, camera system. That was his buddy.
Choomba shot him.
His
Probably
own Choomba.
planned to all along. Must have got a nice slice of cut on the black market for a BD.
I mean, one that's already dope how they're finding out, but wow,
on cream for a real flatline.
Can't trust nobody today.
Anyway, if you've seen
Or
enough,
later.
you can exit.
2077. That's insane. His own Choomba shot him.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? It's too bad most of the BDs we do here are only good for flogging the log.
So Braindance is a pretty big part of the Cyberpunk universe. It's not just something used for adult films. There is an awful lot to it. And there's two sides I'd really like you guys to help me explore. First is the lore. So how this actually fits into the universe, and then there's the gameplay side, so how players will be interacting with it. So Patrick, could you tell us more about the lore of Braindance?
It helps a lot with clues, you know, going back and seeing what happened and stuff.
So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, Braindance was invented way back in the early 2000s at UC Santa Cruz. It was developed as a way of recording a person's experiences and then playing them back for someone else, so that they could relive them as though it was happening to them. It was originally used for things like therapy and prisoner rehabilitation, but by 2077, it's become this global media industry, including things like movies, mass entertainment, things like that, video games, some interactive things, and of course, adult fare as well. Now, in our game, we deal a lot with black brain dances, or XBDs as we call them, and there are different types of those, but the one that you saw in the trailer just there was a flatliner. Now that's where the person recording it actually dies during the recording. And it's popular with sort of an illicit kind of a thrill, but a mercenary can also use them for various things, and you'll see that in the game, of course.
And from the gameplay perspective, we have been working a lot throughout last years trying to figure out the best way how to use the Braindance in the game as a mechanics. So what we have settled on is this Braindance editor mode. As a player, you will be able to run the Braindance in the editor mode and see different clues that have been registered on the peripheral of given actor.
That's crazy.
Now, as a player, you can slide on the timeline of the recording back and forth, trying to uncover different clues. And that clues are actually telling a story in the game. So as a player, you will run different investigations that will lead you to different mysteries, and you will uncover them actually using that Braindance as a mechanics in the game.
So, as Pavel was saying, we use Braindance as a storytelling tool. It's not a collectible. It's not something where you're going to go in and you're going to play it and you're going to be like, I've seen this before. What we use Braindance for is to give you a keyhole into the life of the residents of Night City. And we can explore things like childhood trauma, religion, various philosophical ideas in a way that you might not otherwise experience in a story about a mercenary on the tough streets.
So we've tried to talk about some of the aspects that we think the community will find really exciting, but you know, while you're both here, I'd love to know, what is it about Cyberpunk that you guys are really excited for? Patrick, why don't you start?
So one of the things that I'm most excited about in this game is the characters and the way they interact with the world. We've got this really interesting world that stretches all the way back to the Cyberpunk 2020 source material and all of these events and all of those things, but those don't mean anything unless they connect with characters. And so when we come up with a character, we start with their function. What is this person? What do they do in the story? But we don't stop there. We go back and we figure out, what was their childhood like? What was their upbringing like? What kind of obstacles did they face in this harsh reality, and did they overcome them, and how did they overcome them, or did they not overcome them, and why? And you can see all of those things in their environment, in their dialogues, in sort of how they operate in the world. And we come up with that for all of our characters. Now you look at someone like Victor Vector, and you're gonna see stories about his past in his environment and in his dialogue. You know, we come up with that stuff even if we don't use it in the game, because it helps inform us as to who these characters are.
And for me, I would not be myself if I would not say that I'm the most excited about our quests. Like with our Witcher 3 team, with Patrick and like everybody that has stayed with us since the Witcher 3 time,
it looks like
we really have grown so much. We have learned so much, and we have used all that experience to put them into the quest that we have made. And you will not find really a filler in this game. Like everything has a meaning. Like we put so much effort into making sure that everything is rewarding, is interesting, is talking about characters, as Patrick said, is talking about worlds, is talking about emotions, like touching the player in a really, like a real way. And I just can't wait to find out what you think.
Pavel, I know you mentioned story and quests and writing quests, and when I was last in the studio, I had a look and I saw a notebook on your desk, and I would love for you to show everybody this notebook.
Okay, Holly.
You exposed them.
You asked for it. So this is my notebook. It says Salsa Quest Designer. The reason is because I dance salsa. and I'm a quest designer, so you know. So I started this notebook actually when we were really starting Cyberpunk. At the very beginning, I wrote like a first note, and it says pretty much something along the lines of that we were starting with a prototype. And then, you know, I kept on basically noting things that we've been working on for like next year's. I remember once when our concept artists actually approached me, and they said that they want to take a look on my notebook. I was like, what for actually? And they took some pictures, and they told me, yeah, well, you know, because we are looking for a reference material for notes of a psychopathic killer. Yeah, well, you may find maybe some of my notes in the game.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Pavel and Patrick, thank you so much for joining me. I'm pretty lucky because I have read some of the stories that you and the team have written for Braindance, and I'm pretty excited for people to discover them. But before we do finish today's episode, there is just one more thing we'd like to talk about. Earlier in this episode, I mentioned that media have been getting hands-on with the opening of Cyberpunk 2077, and they should be posting their impressions right about
the
now.
Open world.
And if you missed anything from today's episode, don't worry, we'll be
it.
uploading everything to our channels very soon. And finally, on behalf of everybody at CD Projekt Red, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us for this, the very first episode of Night City Wire. But don't worry, we'll be back with episode 2 in just a few weeks. So, we shall see you soon.
So cool. Pre-order, Xbox One, PS4, PC, November 19th. So, it unfortunately got pushed back to November. I remember the first release date was going to be around July, but here we are, almost near July, and the game got extended. So that is a bummer, but I mean, the more time they have, the better they can make the game, which is what we want. So that's really, really exciting. I'm super excited for the game. I haven't pre-ordered the game due to me looking at upgrading my console. Now, I still have an Xbox One. I'm looking at, you know, getting the PS5 because there are some PS5 games that I'm really, really excited for. And I think it's also time, you know, to upgrade. I mean, I have an Xbox One. Come on now. But I am excited. Part of me, honestly, has been looking at most likely playing Cyberpunk 2077 on a PC. So I am looking forward at building a PC, but I don't know. I don't really know much about PCs, but my really good friend is like a master at them. So I might have him involved with help. Not might. I actually will have him involved with helping me build my gaming PC. But I just really don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna get a PS5 as soon as it comes out. I don't know if I should get a PC, you know, for Cyberpunk. There's just so much going on, but really, you know, you guys should just let me know, what should I do? Should I just get Cyberpunk on a console, or should I actually do it on a PC and go from there? But there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to like and click on that subscribe button. Also, comment down below if you'd like us to react to episode 2 of Night City Wire. It was pretty awesome watching episode 1 all together, but like I said, it's really all up to you guys, but I most likely will, because I'm a huge fan of this game. There you all have it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.